Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel. Now recently we got an update, or kind of a sneaky update should I say, on Grid Legends DLC 2. Now Grid Legends in my opinion is one of the most underrated games that has come out this year. I personally think it's an absolutely awesome kind of arcade dash authentic kind of racer, while the kind of physics and handling and all that are very much arcade in that sense. It still has that kind of authenticity in terms of, you know, the cars and just the feel and the way the game kind of is. However, in my honest opinion, DLC 1 for this game was just a massive disappointment and kind of just took away from what I thought this game did right. You know, yeah, the Destruction Derby and all that was, you know, kind of cool, but it felt very gimmicky and just kind of, well, really pointless to the game overall. Like, it just felt like it just didn't quite fit. You know, we already had the craziness of kind of the sort of off-road trucks leaping off ramps and stuff, and it just felt it just went that, you know, step too far and didn't just quite fit. So to be honest, most people really avoided that DLC, unless obviously you're like me and you have the pass, who kind of got it automatically, played through it once, did a couple of, you know, extra events and stuff, and then just kind of left it there. I never really went too deep into it. I just couldn't find myself really enjoying it like I did the rest of the game. However, DLC 2 is shaping up to be, or should I say, from what we see so far, more of what this game is really about, and it actually includes, well, from what we can see so far, 4 very, very cool cars and very much a legendary vehicle. So this is a tweet we got from the Grid Legends Twitter on October the 10th. It says the night is darkest just before the dawn. Now they haven't released any more information on events and such just yet, but as you can see there is 4 cars teased there. Now a lot of people are actually saying the 4th car, it was the R32 Skyline. Now as you can see by this gameplay, the R32 Skyline's already in the game. So it isn't that, so I will leave that one till last. I will talk about it. Like all these kind of videos, I don't actually want to kind of get in trouble by putting real life images of the car up, because, you know, most images are licensed. However, I will very much still put the silhouettes up and tell you exactly which car it is that is coming and talk about them in detail. So let's get into car number 1. So as you can see, the first car that was teased, or I guess, you know, the top left one, was the Bentley Continental GT3, a GT car that essentially gets overlooked in a lot of games, apart from those that are, you know, purely dedicated to GT3 machinery. So yeah, I'm actually genuinely excited to see this one. It never appeared in the 29 reboot of Grid. Obviously the games prior to that, I believe this car was just not quite available until around about 2015, I want to say, when it started appearing on the GT racing scene. So it's very good to actually see this included in the game, and definitely one worthy of an addition. So for the second car, we'll go over to the top right, and this is what I believe, and I'm almost certain, is the Bentley Speed 8. Now, if you know about this car, I'm pretty sure most of you will. It essentially was the outright winner of Le Mans in 2003. I believe it took part, I think, for 3 years, starting in 2001. So this is definitely a machine that, again, feels quite underappreciated in the racing genre, especially as of recent. I feel like it's kind of just disappeared away from a lot of games, while, you know, kind of when it was at its most kind of peak of actually racing, from kind of the early to mid, even into maybe the late 2000s, this car seemed to feature everywhere and then just kind of fade away. So I'm definitely excited for this one, and it's 100% a worthy addition in my opinion. Now this kind of gave me the idea that, you know, maybe this DLC will kind of be based around Le Mans, so we may actually see Le Mans return to the game. But there is a car, which will be the last one I'll talk about, that kind of makes me rethink that. You know, we do have essentially a GT3 machine with already a bunch of kind of, well, you know, quite modern GT3 machines within the game. Then we have 2 Le Mans kind of prototypes coming in, but the last car kind of throws me off from that kind of thinking. But, you know, you guys let me know. It will be awesome if we do get Le Mans back. If you remember back to Race Driver Grid, when we had the Le Mans event at the end of each season, I hope we kind of get something along that, and maybe a Le Mans themed event. But who knows, maybe the last car's just got its own separate events and we will actually get Le Mans. But I'm kind of on the fence of what the theme around this will be, or if maybe sadly it'll just be a bunch of random and grouped events where it kind of just falls, these cars fall into other categories. I hope not. I hope we do see Le Mans return. So we'll head over to the bottom left next for car number 3, and this is the one that, you know, really did make me think maybe we are going to get Le Mans. Now this is the BMW V12 LMR, I'm pretty much certain of that, and it's famous for essentially one thing, giving BMW its only ever Le Mans win, way back in 1999, a car that again doesn't feature in many kind of modern day racing games, only kind of, you know, certain specific ones. So really excited to see this one in the game. It's an awesome machine. I believe it has been in a few kind of console races over the years, but not really for a long time, so I'm super excited for this one, and it's awesome to see BMW's only ever Le Mans winner feature in the game. Now I'm pretty much certain that is definitely what it is. Let me know if you think different. I believe I pretty much predicted all these cars correctly. You know, a lot of people, like I said, the last one seems to be the one that confuses most people, but definitely, you know, the first 3 cars just giving off that insane Le Mans vibe, and I'm just hoping and praying, but you know, I'll probably be disappointed in that sense. But you know, come on Grid, give us that Le Mans event back. So this last car, or the bottom right car, whichever one you want to call it, is actually the one that kind of most people confused with the R32 GTR, and I can kind of see why. But if you look at the shape, it's kind of a lot more boxy. Now this is actually, and I'm pretty certain of this, the AutoZam AZ1, which is essentially a small little key car straight out of Japan. I believe Mazda had a lot to do with it, and in fact this is probably, from the look of it and the, you know, kind of kit this has on it, the Mazda Speed version. Now personally I'd love to see the Type C version. If you've never heard of that, go and look it up. I believe it was like 1989. It was a kind of prototype design with some sort of Suzuki engine in it, which would really kind of fit the theme of the other race cars in this pack. However, if we are kind of getting the odd road for going version, hopefully is that Mazda Speed version, because it just absolutely looks awesome, and I feel like this is the perfect addition to this game. It's such a weird car, and again, another underappreciated vehicle coming into a game. Yes, it is paid DLC and not kind of a free update like a lot of games do these days, but I don't mind paying money when these kind of cars are coming into the game, and I'm sure they'll be as high quality as the rest of them. They won't kind of, you know, cheap out and just barely design them and just kind of throw them in. And that has been a long wait since obviously the first DLC, which to me I don't really count because it was that bad. So essentially we've had since February at this point for, you know, kind of more of the same of Grid Legends, and it kind of feels like they are going back to what this game should have been and adding some of the best cars I think I've ever seen added to a racing game in, honestly, forever. You know, it's a really exciting group of vehicles to have added, and I cannot wait to dive into them. Hopefully we'll get more details on the events and kind of the theme around it pretty soon. I'm going to assume there'll be an extra little story mode maybe, so, you know, hopefully it really is, you know, a Le Mans or kind of prototype, you know, theme pack, which would be really awesome to see. But that's going to be it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the Discord in the description down below. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss an upload from myself, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.